Okay, so it's day 65 of the daily dollar cost average. I missed a couple of days, like I've been buying. I just haven't posted a video, but every day I do my 333 buy for the day. But I just wasn't able to post just because, like I said, I was moving and so on and so forth. So it's not that I haven't been doing it, but I just didn't post it. So anyway, so here you go. It's $333 again from DAI, the stable coin, which is like a bank account, over to Bitcoin, and convert now. Okay, so we'll take a look at the portfolio, see how that's doing. And again, so right now I have 0.4165. Just make sure that went through. I'll just do it again. Just refresh it. Yeah, so 0.4165 Bitcoin. So just over 40% of a Bitcoin. And as you've probably been seeing, Bitcoin, like it did go up back on the 14th. There was a big surge there. But it's gone down a little bit, but it's just moving right along. There's a lot of talk because of the the Coinbase IPO. A lot of people are talking about that, which I find kind of strange though. Like, and this is just my opinion. I would suspect that like the whole cryptocurrency situation, industry, whatever you want to call it, is, in my mind, it's supposed to be the antithesis of the current financial situation. So like things like, to me, like Wall Street, anything like the current financial industry, to me, is archaic. Like I thought the whole point of cryptocurrencies was to get away from the traditional, dinosaur Wall Street sort of a thing. And then when Coinbase does this IPO, it just doesn't make sense to me. What they should have done is had like a Coinbase coin or something, token or whatever, because they, like, the whole idea of Wall Street to me is, again, it's on the way out. It's the legacy of finance. It's like it's old. It's not current. That's not the direction that finance is going. So I don't understand why Coinbase would want to be on the NASDAQ or on. I know they're not on the Dow, but I'm saying, like, to go, like, when that's sort of your goal, to go on the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ or whatever, that's traditional. To go through iBankers and all this sort of thing is just, to me, it's defeating the purpose of cryptocurrencies. What they should have just done was had like a Coinbase coin or whatever, because this is, to me, this is the antithesis of what it's all about. I don't understand why they did that, but whatever. I'm not the guy making the decision. I'm not pulling the trigger. But I'm saying that it makes no sense. No sense whatsoever to use legacy, finance techniques. You should be moving forward with more of the decentralized finance. You shouldn't be financing it through Wall Street whatsoever. So anyways, we'll look at what's going on in Bitcoin right now. Okay, so yeah, we've seen this guy before, so I don't really feel like watching him again. Let me just see here. See, again, you never know. Maybe it's a smart move by Coinbase. Maybe they're trying to like appease Wall Street, because like if they don't use Wall Street at all, because Wall Street does still have power, obviously, right? Maybe they would, kind of conspire against them. Maybe it was a strategic move. Like maybe the guys at Coinbase said, look, if we just keep going on our own, they might conspire against us, so on and so forth. Or it could be, an issue of it was the only way that they could get the financing they wanted. I really don't know, because maybe if they were thinking if Wall Street gets a piece of it, they'll be more inclined to want to keep it around. I don't really know what the end game is, but here's some discussion about it. So what Coinbase's public debut means to Bitcoin and crypto. So maybe we could watch this one. What Coinbase's IPO means for crypto market plus Bitcoin year's record. So this is Yahoo Finance, Wall Street Journal. So yeah, maybe we should listen to the Wall Street Journal just to hear what their spin is, because what I'm suspecting is that, and again, I haven't watched this, but I'm just guessing that maybe the guys at Coinbase, like I said, if they went all in all out, Lone Ranger and try to do everything themselves, like there's still enough firepower in Wall Street that they could take him out. They could, again, conspire against them, use legal means to get rid of them, whatever. But again, if Wall Street is getting a cut, they might let it go, because right now there's not really much going on in Wall Street other than the cryptos, which they're not getting really much of a piece of. So if they start getting a piece of it, they might, encourage it, because it's like the tech boom. Like before the tech boom, like in the 90s, there wasn't really much going on in Wall Street. And then, the tech boom came out and everybody, the dot-com era, and everyone went crazy. Then the next big boom would have been the mortgage-backed security boom. That's why they didn't stop it, because there was so much money being made. And maybe Coinbase is insightful enough to say, look, man, if these guys catch the wave, they get a nice chunk of it, they're going to encourage it, right? It could ultimately be the death of Wall Street, or maybe it might have to transform, but whatever. But if they're not going to take something out that's making the money, so maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But anyways, we'll listen to what the Wall Street Journal has to say about the Coinbase IPO, and then I'll comment on it.
Cryptocurrencies and Wall Street have mostly been operating in two separate worlds, until now.
We are listing a stock on the NASDAQ.
Coinbase, the US's most popular cryptocurrency exchange, is going public, and that's a big deal for both Wall Street and the crypto community.
Not only does it make crypto and Bitcoin a little more acceptable, it actually now gives investors another way to invest in Bitcoin.
The company allows users to trade and store cryptocurrencies and charges fees on all transactions. It profits when cryptos like Bitcoin trade higher, and in the first quarter of 2021, when Bitcoin's price doubled, Coinbase's revenue was $1.8 billion. Coinbase's revenue being tied to Bitcoin's value has led investors to wonder if the platform's share price will be just as volatile as Bitcoin, which is known for its big price swings. Coinbase has said it wants to do much more than selling Bitcoin.
We're going to basically try to make it easy for our customers to access all the different things they might want to do with crypto.
The crypto industry has so far mostly grown outside of the traditional and regulated investment system, and has an image of being a risky asset, also due to hacks and cybercrime. This listing is meant to help legitimize it. So will Coinbase's public debut be a turning point for crypto? NASDAQ set the reference price for Coinbase at $250, which would give the company a valuation of about $65 billion. That's about 8 times its valuation in a 2018 fundraising round. To understand why the listing is making waves on Wall Street, you have to understand what attracted some 56 million users to the platform. When Bitcoin first emerged around 2010, it wasn't exactly easy to trade. WSJ crypto reporter Paul Vignier has been following Bitcoin and Coinbase for quite some time.
I've been writing about Bitcoin since 2013. In the early days, you had to basically download the Bitcoin software, the actual program itself, run it on your computer, maintain a wallet, maintain a node on the network. And for a lot of people, it was just technologically too big a deal for them to bother with.
Coinbase was created in 2012 and was one of several platforms that offered an easier way for people to buy, sell, and store cryptocurrencies.
The whole point of it was to be very simple. And if you look at the website, it is basically a very simple way to buy and sell Bitcoin.
The company makes money by charging a small fee when people buy or sell crypto, much like a currency exchange would if you were changing, say, euros to dollars. And it's these transaction fees that make up the vast bulk, 96%, of Coinbase's revenue, and what has tied the company's performance directly to those crypto markets. The company made some $322 million in profit last year as crypto gained more legitimacy among traditional investors.
Over the last year, it's become hip, right? Bitcoin's usage has been sort of codified. That really opened the door for a lot of professional money managers, institutional money, hedge funds, to come in and start playing in this little exciting sandbox.
And then in 2021,
Crypto has matured to a point where we wanted to be able to share with all investors and all the public, actually, how far the industry has come. And we thought one way we could do that was by going public.
rather than going public through an IPO, the company has decided instead to do it via a direct listing, like companies like Spotify and Palantir. That means that they'll save the money that they would have paid to investment banks, but their shares will be sold by whoever currently owns them, so the company won't directly make any money in the process. What makes Coinbase's listing really unique is that it's the first time a listed company's stock performance will be so closely linked to crypto markets.
This is the first sort of direct connection between the capital markets and the Bitcoin markets.
While there are some small crypto-based companies that trade publicly in the US and overseas, none handles as much crypto as Coinbase, which has some $223 billion of assets on its platform. That's why its share price is expected to follow the path of its main currencies, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that could provide a unique opportunity for traditional investors.
You can almost look at the stock as an index on cryptocurrencies. If you are a mainstream stock investor and you really don't want to deal with Bitcoin itself, you can buy Coinbase stock. It will be part of the daily conversation now. What did Coinbase stock do today? Was it up? Was it down?
Although crypto price swings can be enticing to investors seeking high volatility, for Coinbase, having its share price tied to that fluctuating market creates a lot of risk and may put off some investors.
If you think the Dow had a bad day, Bitcoin's was worse.
It wasn't just Bitcoin getting bashed. At one point, the global cryptocurrency market lost over $100 billion in just 24 hours.
Equities going higher, Bitcoin going lower.
In 2019, when the price of Bitcoin fell, Coinbase lost some $30 million.
In Coinbase's regulatory filing for the direct listing, they had a very long section on risk. They understand that Bitcoin is going to go up and down.
And it's not just volatility that makes Bitcoin risky. The currency has a long checkered history of being linked to cybercrime, hacking, and theft.
Coinbase has never been hacked. I have to be clear about that. That's a really big.
Okay, so essentially they're basically saying the same thing I was just saying, is that they're trying to legitimize Bitcoin and Coinbase as a company and Bitcoin as an investment. So by going on, the NASDAQ, they're essentially giving Coinbase and Bitcoin the stamp of approval that it's a real investment. That's what I think it is that it's more symbolic than anything. I don't think they had to do it as far as that they need the money or whatever, because like they're just showing how much money they're making in profit. But again, I think what it is, it's strategic in the sense that they're going to be able to give the world the stamp of approval that the legacy financial sector is it's part of it now. That's what I think it is, which in a way is kind of good, in a way it's kind of bad. I don't think it was a smart move. That's just my own opinion. I wouldn't have done it, because now that they have now that they have a Wall Street presence, they're going to have an SEC presence. So they're probably going to have to go through SEC regulations. And again, the big thing with cryptocurrencies is they're mentioning it now. Oh, they use it for illegal activities. They blah, 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 which I think, is it true? Is it not true? If you think the American dollar is not used for illegal activities, like any currency is, any fiat currency is. But I'm saying with this is the thing. The media will get a hold of a certain talking point and they'll just spin it in such a way that it becomes synonymous with that particular thing, especially if they want to take it out. And what they're going to keep saying is that, oh yeah, it's used for, terrorism, it's used for the drug cartels, so they'll come up with something. And maybe Coinbase knew this, but if we, they might be thinking okay, but if we become part of Wall Street, they might ease off on that sort of narrative that it's, it's a legal currency and so on and so forth. I don't know. But the other problem is, like I said, as soon as you let Wall Street in, Like SEC is going to be in there now looking at everything. They can come into any firm that's listed on, you know, the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange or whatever, any exchange. If you're publicly traded, they can come in and walk in and look at your books anytime that they want. So again, and if they want to take this thing out, now they have an in. It can be taken out from within, right? Now that they're allowed to go in there. And that could be a negative thing. But again, it depends on how Wall Street itself deems it. If they see it as a cash cow, like I said, if it's like the .com thing and they think they can make money hand over fist, they're not going to kill, they're not going to kill the goose that laid the golden egg, because if there's one thing Wall Street is good at, is that they're good at pumping whatever's flavor of the month. Right. And if, like I said, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Like if all this cryptocurrency thing and so on and so forth was making money hand over fist and Wall Street wasn't really getting a piece of it, they might want to take it out, one way or another. But now that they're part of it, they might say, hey man, who cares now? Now that we're on the in, we want to, make this thing even bigger than what it is. It all depends on how, it's being, it's going to translate into money for those on Wall Street, because those guys are still powerful. It's like that New York Mellon. Like they took out Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers. Like they conspired with other players to get rid of them. I can go into a whole conversation about that. And I don't know why those two investment banks were targeted, but that was Mellon that took them out. And they can do things like that, right? But with Coinbase, again, it depends. Like if they become like a darling of Wall Street, this thing might get pumped even more. But if they're seen as a threat, but again, the guys on Wall Street, they're not stupid. Like if they know the industry's changing and they know, okay, we can't keep it the way it is. We have to go, with this more crypto sort of thing, and they can get a piece of Coinbase is basically like the New York Stock Exchange of cryptos. It's the biggest thing. It's the biggest exchange right now, right? And if they say, you know what? And like he was saying too, like Coinbase says they're going to be adding even more features as they go on. Right now, you can just basically buy. But if you look at Binance right now, Binance is way more sophisticated. You can do a lot more things with it. But I think Coinbase, especially now that they've gone public and they got the funds to do it, you watch how much more sophisticated it's going to get. Like they'll probably keep like a simple platform for doing what I'm doing right now, just to buy and sell. And like he was saying before, they wanted to keep it simple. They wanted, because before you had to do you had to jump through hoops. So Coinbase said, you know what, we're going to make a simple platform where people can buy and sell, so on and so forth. But they're going to probably add more sophisticated features for those who want them, right? But if you don't want them, you don't have to do it. But I'm just saying, I think Coinbase, it will become the premier exchange, even though it's not, the most functional at this point in time. Like it's very simple. It's doing what it's supposed to do, and it's great for that. But I think it'll start to get the more sophisticated features for those who want it down the road, right? So again, if that's true, and if those on Wall Street can see, okay, this thing's a cash cow, they're going to get a piece of it, and they might really push it. So I'm not going to say one way or the other right now, but I can see both sides. I can see it being a dumb move from Coinbase, because if they're deemed as something that Wall Street just wants to get rid of, they'd be able to get rid of it very easily now. But if it's seen as a cash cow, this thing might even get even bigger, So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I did find it kind of strange that they would go to Wall Street for this money. They didn't need it. And again, maybe it was a survival tactic. I don't know. But anyways, we'll just go back, listen what this guy has to say.
Deal. But if Coinbase was ever hacked, if their security was breached, if Bitcoins were ever outright stolen from the wallets that people have on Coinbase, from their accounts, that would be a disaster for Coinbase.
We always want to keep cybersecurity top of mind. We've got a cybercrime insurance policy against that, but it doesn't mean that cybersecurity is not a big threat we have to keep in mind all the time.
To try and distance itself from the risks of Bitcoin, Coinbase says it has built out a $1 billion war chest and has started to offer a wider range of products that it can sell to its consumers.
Coinbase we're a retail app where people have their primary financial account, but we have an exchange underneath that. We have a custodian under that. We have an institutional business. We also have a commerce merchant payments business.
They're prepared to ride the ups and downs, but they also want to build a bigger boat to deal with those ups and downs in the future.
Those investing in Coinbase are betting that Bitcoin will continue to grow and gain more legitimacy. But if the currency were to crash, as of now, that could be a big problem for the reputation of both crypto and Coinbase.
I think it's really important to remember that historically, Bitcoin has gone through a few periods like this where the price has gone very, very high and come crashing down. Just because Coinbase is now public, just because Bitcoin's perception has been changed in the markets, that doesn't mean that Bitcoin's never going to go down again.
Okay, I think that's a very good point that he just made right there. And again, this is why I keep saying the exact same thing over and over. I know it's getting very redundant. That's why you daily dollar cost average. Okay, that's why I have in reserve $30,000 cash, because everyone right now they think it's all shits and giggles, right? Bitcoin went up and yada yada yada. Now they're gone public. It's sky's the limit. It's just gonna keep going up. It's going to $1 million. That's what everybody's saying. You watch. Okay, and again, I'll show you the charts, man. Let's look at Bitcoin. Okay, so let's look at the Bitcoin chart here. Okay, so the 1 year chart, man. Look at this. A year ago, one Bitcoin was 12 grand. Like it was low as 9 grand, 9,700. Right now it's 77,000. Okay, you think it can't go down again? It's done it before. Like just in December, it was 23,000. It's tripled, almost tripled in 3 months or 4 months, whatever that is, 4 or 5 months, whatever it is. You know what I mean? It can go down again. And if you look at the all-time chart, like I said, like it peaked at 24,000 back in 2017, and it bottomed out. They're like 4,000. They're at 4,500. You know what I mean? Like it's gone down. It's had a lot of dips. And this is what I'm saying. People think it'll never go down. It'll never go down. You have to have some cash. Like I think overall it's a good investment. But what I'm saying is you have to come to grips with the fact that it can go down. And if you think just because it's publicly traded now, Coinbase and Bitcoin is becoming more accepted that it's bulletproof, no, it can go down. But like I said, I'm hoping for a downturn. Like I'd love to see a 40% downturn. Like I think that'd be great. And then I'll start buying more. But this bull run has been going on way longer than I thought. Look at that. Back in October, so October, November, December, January, February, March, April, 6 months ago. Okay, it was 14 grand. $14,000 6 months ago. Now it's 77,000. So you think it can't go down again? Like it can, which is fine. But that's why you daily dollar cost average, is because, I think the opportunities will present themselves. And that's why, I'm not buying it all at once, because it's going to come down, but I welcome it. Like I'm not upset about it. Like I looking forward to it. But anyways, that's basically it for today. We'll keep an eye on what's going on with this whole IPO thing, and just keep an eye on what's going on. How Coinbase is being viewed by Wall Street. Is it negative? Is it positive? Again, at this point, I don't know. I'm not privy to any of this inside information. I have no idea. But anyways, that's it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.